The final edition of Todd's Odds before the Super Bowl with our sports betting expert Todd Fuhrman, who joins us from the beautiful Cosmopolitan Hotel on the Vegas Strip. First of all, Todd, you've had a chance to meet a lot of TSN personalities in person, our crew that's down there. Are you as repulsed by them as we are here in the studio?
I'm actually not repulsed at all, Jay. It's nice to finally meet people that work for TSN that have talent, they have discipline, and carry themselves as consummate professionals. So it's a far cry from me working with you each and every Wednesday and Thursday all football season long. So I see it as rather refreshing.
Yeah, that's a good point by you, Todd. I'm going to start with the big question here. We have been asking you, Todd, all season to pick a Super Bowl winner. You've dodged the question for 23 weeks in a very clever way. I have to give you that. But we're finally down to two teams. Will you finally pick one, Todd Fuhrman?
I am. Can I pick the Toronto Argonauts? Is that an option on the table, or do I have to pick one of the two teams that's actually playing on Sunday? But look, we've had a lot of fun with this, and I think, part of it when you look at the futures market for the NFL, what often can go wrong does go wrong. And these two teams have dealt with a war of attrition. Kansas City, we know about the pedigree, the dynamic tandem that is Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes on one side against Kyle Shanahan looking to try and find that next career milestone that's eluded him both as a head coach and as an offensive coordinator with an unlikely source under center in Brock Purdy. And while, Jay, I don't get nostalgic often in sports, I think this is the 49ers' time to erase that long drought that they've gone through. Since 1994, they've been in search of their sixth Super Bowl title in franchise history, and I think they get it on Sunday. I know a lot of people that are surprised that the Kansas City Chiefs are 2 to 2.5 point underdogs, but it's within good reason. I think the 49ers get their name in the annals of history, and they bring a Lombardi trophy back to the Bay Area Sunday afternoon.
If you're looking for a way to get in James Duthie's good books, you just did it, pal. Well done, my friend. Very impressive. Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy, they're the favorites for the Super Bowl MVP. This is normal. Quarterbacks usually are the favorites. Is there a name further down the board, though, Todd Fuhrman, that you see maybe a little bit of value in?
I actually think there's a little bit of opportunity. When we go further down the board, and I know our friends at FanDuel have offered a quarterback versus the field bet that I think is intriguing as well. When I look at San Francisco and all the difference makers they have on that offensive side, there's a path for this team to be successful, even if Brock Purdy doesn't put up gaudy numbers. And the most likely candidate for me is Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. We know what CMC has brought to the table. He has given this Niners offense a dimension that they desperately lacked, whether it's as a runner or as a receiver. I know it's not going to get people rich by any stretch of the imagination with a price less than 5 to 1, but I think if it's not Brock Purdy, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. So he's a guy I'd be willing to take a flyer on for MVP.
What about prop bets? Everyone loves the Super Bowl prop bets. Todd, are you a big blue Gatorade guy? Are you a big over-under on the Anthem guy? What do you like?
Well, here are the things that have gotten more challenging over the years with Gatorade. You not only have to recognize the right color, you have to identify the team that's going to win the game. So it essentially becomes a two-team parlay, and I don't think there's a whole lot of wiggle room there. But CJ, this is where I was going to defer to you on the Anthem. I know you are a fixture in the country music community. You have Reba McEntire on speed dial, and I figured she would reach out to you and let you know exactly how long she wants to relish her superstardom on stage. So unfortunately, I don't have any strong convictions. The one thing I can tell you, at 90.5 seconds where that market is currently priced, it is significantly shorter than what we've seen in the past. And Jay, if they ever give me the opportunity to sing the national anthem, you should max bet the over, because I'm going to milk the hell out of singing the Star-Spangled Banner.
And you have a beautiful singing voice, like Marvin Gaye at the '83 All-Star Game. Christian McCaffrey, Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Kelce. Todd, they're all minus money to score a touchdown on Sunday. So do you have an under-the-radar pick maybe for us to score a touchdown this Sunday?
I do, and I'm going to go to the San Francisco receiving room with Deebo Samuel. He is the ultimate Swiss Army knife in terms of what he can do both as a runner and as a receiver. And I think when you're trying to find creative ways to scheme your playmakers open against the defense that has exceeded everyone's expectations this year, Kyle Shanahan's going to find a way to get Deebo some touches creatively. And I think at a price right around plus 150, maybe a shade shorter, Deebo for an anytime touchdown scorer makes some sense. And you know what, Jay? It's the final game of the year, so let's live dangerously. Let's call Deebo Samuel a value proposition to score the first touchdown of the game right around 10 to 1.
Here's my most important question I've maybe ever asked you. How excited are you for Usher?
I am thrilled. I mean, 13 minutes of pure, unadulterated bliss. The fact that Usher wants to go out there and perform for free, I can sympathize with that because I've been doing these hits all season long for TSN, and you keep telling me the check is going to clear or the check is in the mail. Eventually, it's going to arrive. I just hope it's in USD, not Canadian currency.
I'm going to defer that question for someone above me, but Todd, I'm going to talk to you next week after the Super Bowl, and that's when I'm going to ask you who's going to win the 2025 Super Bowl. We're going to get ahead of things next week. I'm looking forward to that one. But I hope you have a great time with the TSN crew. Always great to hang out with you, buddy.
Hey, it's always a pleasure, and I'm just disappointed, Jay, that I haven't seen your face on the Sphere. I figured James was going to grease some wheels and be able to make it happen, but thankfully for everybody in the Las Vegas Valley, we haven't been exposed to that yet.
Yeah, nobody needs to see Duffy's head that big. Nobody.